Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Grown Ups, the podcast. Hey, Ellie. Hey, Boxer. How are you?
Hi, girl. Hi, everybody. I feel like pure crap. I don't know about you. Guys, we are recording this on the Friday after my boxing match. My boxing match was last night. We went out. What time did you get home?
Girl, I got home at must have been like two something. It wasn't actually
Oh,
that late, but I went home and I ate, right? And
oh my
then
God.
I fell asleep on
Ah!
the floor. I was eating on the floor
I'm
and I fell
dying.
asleep. And I had to wake up. I was like, oh my God, I have to shower. I have to brush my teeth. So I went and did that and then I went to sleep. Nightmare.
Oh, no, girl. I was an absolute tramp. By the way, 2 o'clock is bloody late for me. These are not my vibes. Like, I'm usually in bed by 10 latest.
Yeah.
Um, I got in, stripped, like ripped off everything and fell straight asleep. Like I didn't even brush my teeth or wash my face. I am a tramp. I am actually a tramp. I'm waiting for the spots to be like spot galore. I don't know if you can tell, my top lip is like bruised all the way along.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I'm so dumb because I was gonna ask you if you'd done like filler again or something. So I was like, your top lip looks different, and I completely forgot. Like, yeah, literally, you boxed yesterday. Okay, wait. Tell the people then how it all went. How are you feeling? So obviously, yesterday was the long-awaited boxing match. I went to watch with your colleagues and your mans, and it was so
Yeah.
fun. Honestly, I had such a fun time. Like that was such a fun night. How
It
was it
was
from your
good
perspective?
vibes, man. I loved watching everyone else's fights. That was so fun. Guys, let me start from the beginning, yeah, because obviously I signed up for this boxing match last February. So last February they put a feeler out and they were like, if we were gonna do boxing again because they've done it before, who would be interested? And so people put their names up and they had enough people that it could go forward. The training camp didn't start, so then there was like no communication until like December time when they were like, right, you put your name forward, are you still interested? And they were just double checking the feelers. Enough people signed up, so then the training camp started in April times, and I think no, not April. We're in bloody April. In February, it started in February because it's an 8 week training camp. And when the training camp started, a load of people like were either too nervous and pulled out or got injured, and it was just mental. Like we struggled for fighters. So in the end, what was meant to be like a 10-man training camp was a 2-man training camp. Like it was me and one other guy who went religiously every week to the training. Some other
That's so
people,
crazy.
girl, it was mental. Like some other people did it at their own gyms. Um, and then one other guy joined really late for like the last 4 training sessions or something like that. Well, that's not really late, halfway through. Actually, no, because there were 2 training sessions a week, so actually it was pretty late. But anyway, for the women, I was the only girl fighter. The girl that was meant to fight me dropped out. So most of the time that I was training, I didn't have an opponent. So me, I'm not full of excuses. Like this is not my excuse, but I didn't train hard because it was always like, is it on? Is it off? Is it on? Is it off? And then 2 weeks ago, I got a fighter and I was like, rotted, let me ramp up the training. So like I did private training, like I was on it. I felt really good. And then the 2 days before the fight, the bitch dropped out. She claimed, guys, me and Meggie have discussed this, but she claimed she had shin splints. I'm sorry, we're not running a marathon. Like, why are shin splints preventing you from doing 6 minutes in the ring? Do you know what I mean? Stuff some
Yeah.
paracetamol down you and roll. Let's roll with it.
Yeah, that I don't know, something sus about that one.
Honestly, so we just gave up with her. And then they were like, look, you've trained so hard. We're really going to try and find you a fighter. These are your 2 options. So it was you either have a professional just dance around the ring with you just for fun, just so that you can get out there. I was like, that is a joke. I'm not doing that. I'd rather not fight at all. Don't
Yeah.
disrespect me, kind of thing. And then B, you fight this other gal who she fought, I think 18 months ago. She's like 10 kg bigger than me. She's taller than me. And she's a southpaw, which means basically it's just a different stance. So my left leg is forward. Her right leg would be forward when we're boxing. So it means your jabs are always like hitting each other and there's a lot more crosses being thrown. And you always have to
Mm.
watch your footwork to make sure you're on the for people who don't know boxing, this won't make sense. But basically it's a very different way of fighting. Like they're very awkward to fight. So this is the day before my fight. I find out that I'm fighting her. And I'm just
Oh
like,
my
shit,
days.
I've not trained for this. Like, I've trained for someone shorter than me. I'm really good at keeping people at range. So, like, every technique I'd learned for my fight went out the window. I messaged my coach and I was like, look, I've got a fighter. She's bigger than me. She's a southpaw, but I'm going to go for it because I've trained. Like, if I get battered, I get battered. At least I know I tried.
Yeah.
And he was like, come down to the gym. So I had to go to the gym Wednesday night before my fight. I was shattered.
Oh
Before
my
my fight on
God.
Thursday. Yeah, because Wednesday I was meant to just have off, like just rest.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I went to the gym and I thought it was just going to be me and him, like just practicing. He was just going to throw me a few, show me a few tricks, blah, blah, which he did. But then there were people sparring in the ring and one of them was a southpaw and he was like, get in the ring. I was like, is this bitch mad? He wants me to get in the ring with a guy the day before my fight who's a southpaw and literally just risk my life. Bearing in mind the week before I obviously got a black eye from sparring.
Yeah.
I think that as well like kind of dented my confidence. I was very nervous. So I got on with the southpaw. It actually wasn't too bad. Like I took one really good hit to the head. Like genuinely, he whacked me around the head and I was like, Jesus. And he was like, I'm sorry. And I was like, no, continue. I need this. Let's keep going.
Oh my God.
But yeah, and then fight night was yesterday. And yeah, I fought her. I lost, which, yeah, it was disappointing. I'm so annoyed. Like, this whole morning, I'm not going to lie, I've been so pissed off myself because I just feel like I didn't give my all. I knew I could have gone harder, but I think she hit me 1-2 clean in the head and I was just, like, very taken aback. And then from there, I was very timid. I was absolutely fuming. But, yeah.
No, the thing is, I knew you would be because of your personality type.
Yeah.
Like, I knew you would be, but when I was watching you, like, and I don't even know too tough about boxing, but two of your colleagues do actually do boxing.
Yeah.
And one of them, she was even like how she actually wanted to do it, but she couldn't because technically she's considered like an amateur boxer, so she can't.
Yeah, she's licensed.
But all of them were saying like technically your skill was so good. That girl was fucking massive. Like,
Bruv, yeah, she was huge.
she's so much bigger than you. Like, that would never have ran if it was like a real boxing match. You would never have to fight someone like that. And you hadn't been training with her. You'd never fought her before. Like, everyone else had the luxury to train with their people and like to know exactly what was gonna go down on the night. You found out less than 24 hours before your fight. Like, you did so good, Ellie. I was so impressed.
No, it was honestly this morning I was so gutted. Like I was just like, this is shit, man. Fuck's sake. I think it's because I knew I could have done better. Like had I lost and I had given it my all, like I was aggressive, I wouldn't have cared. But I just knew I could have gone harder. Like there were sessions in the gym where I went ham. Like I was like, rotted, I'm scared of me. Do you know what I mean? But like I really wasn't bringing that. I was bringing timid and I was so annoyed. But Billy did show me some of the videos, and to be fair, I watched them, and in some of the bits, I was like, "Okay, look at that little slip,
Ellie,
look at that little roll."
Yeah, you're like you got punches to her, and like there was one moment where you proper like do, and it's like the thing, like also you're in front of a massive crowd, like there were so many people there, and so many people sitting so close as well, so you can kind of like hear everyone. Like you'd never done this before. All your colleagues as well, it's all people you know, which like and people you don't know, so it's like the double whammy of audience. But you did so well. And guys,
thank you, girl.
She came out to Many Men by 50 Cent and I was like, no, yes!
Bruv, guys, there's so much I need to tell you. First of all, I forgot everything. First of all, when I got in the ring, everything I learned went out my head. Like everything I had just been through with my coach like half an hour before warming up, just ping, evaporated.
Serious?
Like, honestly, I don't know what I was thinking. I think when I got in there, I was literally just like, do not get hit, Ellie. Do not get hit. And because I was thinking so much about not getting hit, I wasn't throwing. I was just like, do not get hit, do not get hit. And then I ended up getting hit like 10 fucking times. Guys, my neck went several times. The ache today in my neck is mad. The bruise on my lip, like, fucking hell.
Yeah, but every time you came back, like, it didn't look like it affected you. Like, you came back and carried on. Like, if it was me, I'd just fling me to the corner and let's call it a day.
No, in the third round, guys. So in the first round, that was without a doubt her round. I came out to my coach and I was like, bruv, I was like, she's winning this. Like, I'm going to fucking lose this. He was like, come on, Ellie, come on.
Did you say that?
Yeah, I was like, bruv. I was like, Emmanuel, I don't know why I'm going for this. Like, what am I doing? And he was like, come on, Ellie. He was like, jab, cross to the body. Come on, you've got this. And I was just like, and then, oh, what was I going to say? I forgot what I was fucking going to say.
About the intro song. About the song when you're coming out.
Yeah. So everything just went out of my mind. I was really annoyed about that. But the intro song pissed me off. So basically, obviously, Many Men starts with 50 Cent like getting shot, and then the beat drops. And I wanted to walk out as the beat drops because that was going to hype me up. Like, this was my hype song. This is what was going to get me in my aggressive mood. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They came and told me that I was coming out. I didn't have gloves on. I didn't have my headgear on. And I didn't have my gum shield in. And they started introducing me and playing my song. So by the time I walked out, I didn't even walk out with gloves on. So I wanted to do you know when you like, I wanted to walk out like that and I couldn't. I had no vim to my walkout. I was so pissed off. I think that put me like on the back foot already because I was just annoyed that I didn't have the vim that I wanted to come out to. Like,
yeah.
That jarred me. The organisation was next to none, fuming. But yeah, and then in the ring, obviously first round was definitely her round. I did not have vim. And then after that, it like came in the third round. I remember she caught me and I was like, I was literally like, okay, bitch, come on then.
Yeah.
Like, whilst I'm boxing, guys, and I see it on Billy's clip because I start moving, I was like, okay, bitch, come on. Give it to me then. Yeah, in the second and third round, I was definitely like better, but still, like, nothing I was taught stayed in my head. It just went, it just disappeared. It evaporated. It was mental. Like, but hearing everyone scream, there were so many people. I could literally hear people chanting my name. It was like, Ellie, Ellie. I was like, oh my God, okay, celebrity.
When I say, Ellie, you had the best supporters. Like, everyone there, everyone else, apart from the one that we were watching, that we were like calling out for.
Yeah.
But that also, again, that was all us.
That was
everyone else, like, did not have the support that you had. We had signs. Also, do you know what's so weird? I made that sign, and I brought it with me. As I was putting my stuff away in the cloakroom, there were like a stack of signs with your name on them. And the woman was like, oh, you here to support Ellie? And I was like, yeah. She was like, oh, like, there's some more signs there. And I was like, oh, I thought like maybe Billy bought them, but like forgot them in the cloakroom or something. So I brought them up and I was like to Billy, is this yours? And he was like, no. And I was like, well, shit, whose is this? So then I started giving them out to your colleagues. So then everyone had an Ellie sign.
That is so funny. Do you know what? It's weird that he didn't say anything. It might have been Peter, because I remember saying to Peter and Leona, oh, my friend's making a sign. And they were like, we want to make some, as I was leaving the office. So they might have made them.
Oh, it might have been.
But that is hilarious. Oh, no, honestly, I felt like such a celebrity. Like, guys, if anyone has the opportunity, I'm not a sporting person. So, like, I've never lost before. It really hurts. But if anyone has the opportunity to do a sport or just something that, like, makes them stand out and everyone can come and support you, if you haven't already, oh my God, do it. Like, I was leaving the office, everyone was screaming good luck. Even in these 8 weeks building up to the fight, like, I've made friends with so many more people around the office because everyone's just like, how are you getting on? Blah, blah, blah. Especially when I had the black eye, like, I was legit the talk of the office. Like, but it's just such good vibes. And it made me deep how many people, like, across the industry I know as well. Today, I've had so many emails. Guys, let's be raw, I was never going to work today. I expected to have, like, concussion, black eyes, all sorts. But today, the amount of emails, like, people that I've never met before have, like, got my email from other people and messaged me and been like, your fight was the best of the night, blah, blah, blah. It was so amazing. You did so well. Like, you have such guts. I was just like, this is so cute. Like, everyone has been so supportive. It's really sweet. It's peak that I'm leaving this, like, industry, not property, but resi agency. So I'll never work for these people. But it was just so sweet. Everyone was on such good form.
No, it was so nice as well because, like, even the photographer at the event came up to you to tell you how good you did, and like the security guards were saying like how good you were doing. Like, everyone was so like that's what I'm saying. Like, you should be so proud because you were so good. You were just put in an unfair, like, you had an unfair.
She had an unfair advantage. Yeah,
she had an unfair advantage. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. But
we got that.
It's like you did so well, bruv. Like, oh, it was such an exhilarating night. Like, it was so fun to watch.
No, I'm pleased. I fucking loved, guys, literally, like we were just saying, everyone, not to pick myself up, but like legit, I could hear people chanting my name. Like it gave me a bit of energy towards the end. They were like, Ellie, Ellie. We watched the next couple fights. There was silence. And these
There
were
was no
good
one
man
there.
fights. Like, bruv, guys, some of the guys had blood pouring down their face. Like, there were two
Yeah.
big boys proper fucking each other up. And no one was cheering. I was cheering the loudest. My colleague was like, Ellie, you've just fought. And the only person I can hear is you.
You
Shouting for
literally
these
like,
people.
Alan!
Yeah. I was like, come on. Me and Owen are the only two that did like the training religiously together. So I was like, he has to win. Come on, Owen. He tied. So yeah, he had a bit of a better outcome, but it was so good. Like, I'm less disappointed now than I was when I woke up this morning. When I woke up this morning, it was literally as if I'd failed an exam. Like, I thought my
Oh
whole
my
world was
God.
ending. I was like, I'm so sad. I was like, Billy, you have to come home. I'm so sad. Billy finished work today. Guys, I've had the nicest day. The 4-day working week should be a thing. We went for lunch today. Billy finished work at like 10 a.m. We went out for lunch. I popped into my sister's, had a chat. Like,
I'm dead.
I've just been on vibes today. It's been so good. How have you managed today? We also then went out clubbing. Girl, tell the people, what do you think of my colleagues? Did you have a good night? How's the head today?
So I first of all, it's so hilarious because I'm meeting your colleagues and then like from their personalities I'm gathering, oh, this is blah blah. Because I've heard so much about them. I can't remember which one it was like that I was like, what team are you in? And he was like, oh, valuations, but and then he's in blah blah. And I was like, oh, you're in vows then. He was like, oh, you know about vows. I was like, I know all about vows.
Yeah.
But it was like your colleagues are so funny. Like they literally this it's just okay, so after the boxing match, we all go out to a bar and then we go out to a club. That bar as well, by the way, was vibes. Like there was a live band playing
So
like
good.
R&B and stuff.
Guys, I do not venture south of the river, but Northcote Records in Clapham was vibes. Yeah,
It
the
was
live
such
band was hitting the
vibes.
spot.
Who found out about that? Because I've never been there either.
Everyone from Clapham goes there. They all go there.
Oh,
So they were like, let's just
okay.
go there. I remember the last time the boxing was on, we tried to get in, but I was too drunk. It was too full, and I was too drunk, and I ended up being sent home.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
dead.
I was on better form this time.
No, you were in really good form. I feel like everyone was on quite good form, to be honest. No one was like a mess. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
no. A couple of people went home early because they said they didn't feel great. But everyone who stayed out was on great form.
No, and everyone was just like dancing and having a good time. Like it was just really nice. Like I thoroughly enjoyed. But there's this guy that he was like, I was talking to him, and he was like, "Are you the other podcast host?" And I was like, "What?" Because in my head, I'm like, I'm even whispering to Billy, like, "Oh, can you take a video of this? Because we're gonna make a TikTok." So no one asks questions about why we're making a TikTok. And then I clocked who it was because of he was like, "Yeah, Ellie told me once when she was drunk, but I don't know the name." He was like, "Oh, tell me the name, tell me the name." I was like, "No,
Yeah, do
you are
not
not
tell him the
finding out.
name.
Never, no, especially that one. Never, never."
Top secret for you guys only. See, our listeners should be very grateful. We do not
Yes.
tell everyone about this podcast.
No, we do not. But it was so funny. Like, I just we can cut this out if it's too much, yeah. But there's this girl that you work with. I don't actually know her name. It's the one that's the amateur boxer.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like she was really onto the black guy.
Really?
Yeah, am I incorrect? Because she kept like going to dance with him and like she was very like I mean, I feel like she just proper dances anyways. Like she seems like a dancer.
Guys, she was doing dirty dancing up in the place. Like the way she was moving her hands and her body. I was like, oh, sis, okay, come on. Like, do it for the
Yeah.
girls. Yeah, she's good, man.
But I don't know, like maybe my perception is wrong, but she kept going up to him and like proper like whining on him and stuff like that on songs that do not need to be whined to.
Yeah, girl, I don't know if she just enjoys dancing because she actually got off with the one in vows.
Oh my god, yeah, no, that's right. And then she started lip-syncing the next man. Yeah, that's true.
Wait, she lips too, man.
No, she was lip-syncing the white guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, that's who I mean.
Okay, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
she kept dancing with the black guy, so I thought she was interested in the black guy.
Yeah, I don't, as far as I'm aware, I don't think so. She went outside and straddled. Look how we're describing people, the white and the black guy. She went outside and straddled the white guy. Like, literally straddled him on the bench outside.
Mad.
Guys, this is what my workplace is like. These are all my junior colleagues, by the way. But even my senior colleagues were on top form, boy. They were drunk. Like,
Your senior colleague, he was like putting his middle finger up to his staff. Like, that's it. He's the boss of that guy. Like, he kept putting his middle finger up to him.
I am dying.
And then he was like to me, yeah, that's my boss. I was like, lol.
Is this the old guy with the grey hair?
Yeah.
Oh, I love him. He's my favorite. He never comes to work events, but he came to this one and he messaged me when he got home and he was like, "You were a superstar." And he sent me a picture of me boxing.
Oh, no, he was so sweet. He was good vibes.
He is so, no, honestly, like, I am, when I first started my job, I was like super anxious, super high pressure. And I complained a lot about the fact that like people didn't include me in things and stuff like that. But the more I've gotten to know my team and the more confident I've become over this past year, oh, I've actually like fallen in love with my colleagues. They are so sweet. Yeah.
They are really nice.
And I must admit, like, even though we won't make this whole episode of boxing, guys, but even though I lost the fight, which is fucking annoying because now I can't cross it off of my 2024 New Year's resolutions.
But you still did it.
Yes, I don't know. I should have just put bloody compete in the boxing on my New Year's resolutions. Can't change it now. But I actually feel amazing. Like, I didn't strictly diet. I didn't, not recently anyway, stop drinking. And I didn't train as hard as I could have. But I feel so good and I've come leaps and bounds. When I was in the gym on Wednesday night, just shadow boxing, which I hate because I find it so awkward. One of the guys who took my first ever PT session was like, "Oh my God, Ellie." He was like, "I was just watching you. Like, you've come so far." He was like, "You must be practicing shadow boxing all the time." And I was like, "No, I don't. I literally hate it. It's just from training." And I was just, and also, like, previously, I never would have joined a gym, especially not a boxing gym. Like, those places are bloody intimidating. By myself or like done anything like this. And I was like, "Bitch, you may be a loser, but you're grown." Like, you're actually grown. I'm proud of you. So no, yeah, it was amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Once I'm over the PTSD, I'm gonna keep up the pad work. No more sparring because fucking hell was my jaw been rocked to be fair, actually there was no uppercuts from her. It was mainly just jab, cross. So my neck is fucking hurting from taking all those shots, I must admit.
No, I have to say, from I'm literally so proud of you because my first image of you when I first met you, yeah, you were like bleach blonde, you were like holding this bag, and you were this was just not your character.
I had
at all.
pink. I remember the jacket distinctly. I had like a pink fake suede leathery style jacket and pink 97s or whatever they were.
Yes, I remember this as well. And like for you to now be like thriving in your workplace and have like all your colleagues supporting you, like they were all like there for you and like being so supportive and stuff. And just seeing you in the ring, like you were so in the ring. I mean, not in the ring. It's not ice skating.
Don't
You
tempt
were
me.
so like I can't believe that you did that. Like, it's actually insane. Like, I'm so proud of you. Like, honestly,
Thank you, girl.
you've seen something through to the end, and like you succeeded in my eyes. So I'm just big well done, man.
Yeah, no, it helps that she was fucking huge because all of the messages have just been like, "You held your own. You should be so proud. Your fight was so entertaining." And like, everyone was like, "You were way more technical than her." And I was like, "Oh, that's really cute."
Yeah.
No, it was lovely. Yeah. I feel I'm on good vibes. I'm ready for the weekend. Like, it's been a good week.
Yeah. What are you doing this weekend? Like, how are you like treating yourself?
Oh, girl, do you know what I did this? Well, actually, I did it yesterday. I messaged my like insurance and I've got physiotherapy for my neck and my back. So I'm gonna get a good few massages and a good few treatments on that.
Yes.
But it was my sister's birthday, her 40th last weekend, and she went away. So we're having a barbecue tomorrow. So there'll be lots of
Oh,
cake, lots of good food, Millie's cookies. You know the massive birthday Millie's cookies?
yes.
I'm so excited. I'm going to stuff my face. And then, do you know what? From Monday, I'm going to go hard in the gym. Like, I think this has taught me, I just want to feel good. Do you know when you feel fit, you kind of just feel not like it's a superpower, but you just feel good. Like, you're like, I can take on anything.
Yes,
It's,
I 100%
yeah.
agree.
So from next week, diet starts. I'm going to go ham in the gym. Like, I've got a month till my birthday. So the 25th year is going to be my year. Fuck the start of 2024, man. We're starting in May 2024 rather than Jan. We're starting in
Yes.
month 5. Yeah. So it's a nice chilled weekend. I'm so excited. How about
Oh, I
you?
love it. I'm meant to be revising.
Oh
I'm
my God,
actually,
yeah.
oh,
Go on,
I'm
darling.
actually, I was meant to finish all my, what I set out to do is finish all the content in Brazil so that I'd just be like looking over notes basically when I got back.
Yeah.
What had happened was one of the chapters didn't go in my suitcase with me, and I don't know how it
No.
happened. Like, I have no idea how it happened. And I couldn't find a printer, and then I eventually managed to print it, but I literally, like, anyways, I didn't finish all the chapters. So, my goal this weekend is to finish this chapter that I was meant to finish last week, and then just revise. But I've actually, because I'm still me at the end of the day, I need to do something, otherwise I'll feel sad. I'm meeting up with a friend and we're going to like an exercise class, which is
Lovely.
like at her gym.
I love that.
It's meant to be like some sort of yoga thing, but it's like a different yoga. So if that's good, I'll let you know how it goes. Um, but yeah, that's the plan. And sleep early tonight because boy, I woke up this morning like tired. I was like, no.
Rob, I think we ended up going to bed, me and Billy, at like maybe half 2, 3. He woke up at 6 a.m. or 6:30 to go to work. I was like, "Bleh, you're making me feel sick." And I couldn't get back to sleep after he left. And I was like, I feel so ill.
Yeah, man. Also, when you drink, you never have a good sleep. Like,
Mhm.
I didn't feel well rested. But I didn't pay for anything last night. My whole night was free. So,
Perfect. Love that. I paid for a few rounds, but I'm bloody expensive them. I carried that show. No one should tell me
yeah,
otherwise. I actually carried the night, so they will expense my drinks.
absolutely.
Yeah, no, it was such good vibes. Honestly, yeah, so good. And I said to Billy, guys, I'm sorry, I am waffling. But like, I love the fact that you guys now know when I chat about my colleagues who they are. Like, do you know how cool that is? That feels elite. That's like adult good, like good stuff.
No, it
Proper
is. And
adulting.
I was like to Billy, have you met these people before? And he was like, no. And I was like, oh my God, it's serious. Not that buying a house wasn't serious enough. I was like, oh, it's serious now.
Sis, guys, you need to tell us, like, in these podcast episodes, do you want to hear more about us and our lives and us navigating our 20s, or more about like the content that we deliver? Because if you want to hear, me and Meggie were meant to start this call about half an hour before we did, because I got a call from my surveyor that's looking at the house I'm buying.
Oh, yeah. How
So
did
we
that
had the
go?
damp issue that delayed us 5 weeks, guys. This damp issue delayed us 5 weeks. They then went and got it solved. We've now instructed solicitors. My surveyor went in today. He calls me. He goes, I didn't find him. It's like my sister uses him all the time for her clients. And he's so posh. He picks up the phone. It was like this proper old man. Do you know when they've been doing their job for years, you know they're good man. Like,
Yes.
and I was like, whoa, me, I'm just laying in bed. Like, and he was like, I've got bad news for you. And I just said, I want to bang
Whoa.
my head against the wall right now. He basically said
What?
they've got, so next door are doing works to the loft. They've done a loft extension and they have a party wall agreement um, to make sure basically if they destruct the house or affect the like structural capacity of the house we're buying, that they have a, a duty of care basically to fix it. And he was like, they haven't abided by the party rule. He was like, whatever they've done in that loft, he was like, that does not look structurally sound. He was like, that's not going to pass building regs. So
Oh
basically,
my God.
if we buy this house, we're probably not going to get until the end of the year. So I'm kind of just
What?
like, that was a stretch. But like, it's even if we go ahead, he was like, he basically said, if I was you, I wouldn't touch this. He was like, it don't look right. But he was like, let's work out what's gone wrong first. And then you can see. But I'm just like, it's one thing after the other. I really want this house. Like, I really want this house. I still look on Rightmove and I've found nothing else that I love as much as I love this house. I've designed the whole house. I've got Pinterest folders for every single room. Like,
Oh my god.
fucking hell. It's just not meant to be. So,
No,
yeah.
but I don't think so because my parents' house had so many obstacles and it was literally there were like 2 hours left before
It's
like it
true.
went through. It's like literally everything that could go wrong literally went wrong and then they still got the house in the end and it was a longer process than they thought, but they still got there and they're really happy there and they love it. So there may be obstacles, but it doesn't mean it's not meant to be and it's not meant to be your house. And whatever
Yeah.
happens, you will be in a house that you love equally.
I hope and I pray because this is slowly killing me. Like every time we think things are moving forward and we get excited, something else goes wrong. And I'm just like, oh my God. But if we're looking on the bright side of life, it means I can save more. So I shan't
That's true.
complain.
On that note, actually, yesterday I was like to Billy, I was like, "Oh my god! Also, congrats on like the house stuff that you're doing and all of this." And we started talking about finances, and he was like, "Yeah, Ellie's just such a big spender," and it made me think, I'm a big spender. There's no way you can be a bigger spender than me. Like Ellie, I spend so much money,
I'm
so much
probably
money.
not a bigger spender than you. He doesn't appreciate that I put like quite a bit of money. Okay, I do take it out, but I put quite a bit of money in my savings each month. And I'm paying like so much for travel. I obviously pay a little bit of like mummy and daddy rent. I don't know where my money goes, to be fair. But then we've got to buy skincare. Like fucking face cream is 40 quid or whatever it is.
Yeah,
It's expensive.
it
And my
is.
gym obviously costs a lot of money. And lately, because I've been so exhausted where I've been at the gym so much, I haven't been making lunch. And lunch in West End is like 10, £12 a pop. So I've been spending fortunes on
Yeah.
lunch every day.
No, so true. I was just thinking, like, you think you know Big Spender, you don't even know.
You're like, honey, I will show you, big spender. Let me whip up my Amex card and show you.
Let me whip out my Amex right now.
All you have to do is tell someone how many points you have on your Amex, and they're like, well, shit. Big
It's
spender.
actually true. It's actually so true. Yeah, I actually used my points to buy my Brazil flight. So
So
I've
good.
used them, and I'm racking them all the way up again. Like I'm in the, I'm. Listen, the points are up,
Big spender.
and it hasn't been that long.
Mate. Yeah, Billy does not know big spender. Honestly, no. I just like a few little luxuries here and there, but small ones, like a nice lunch.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, on that note, guys, we've spoken for half of the podcast. I was about to say just about us, but really truly just about me. What a selfish bitch.
No, but
um
it's been interesting.
no, it's been I don't even know what I'm gonna talk about anymore. Like, what is my personality gonna be? What's next? I said that
Back
to
to
Billy.
Pilates.
No, I've got Pilates booked in next week. But I said to Billy, like, what's next for me? I need something else now. I really want to do,
Really?
I think I'd easily do a half marathon. Like, I ran 15K in Feb. So, like, a half marathon was going to be my next thing. But because of my knee, I'm like, should I really do that? I don't know what's next for me.
I don't know. Do you like cycling at all?
Hurts my ass. I've got a bony ass.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I need to have a think. I'll come back to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually yesterday before I came to your boxing match, I went out with my manager and then we met up with we were talking like amongst colleagues after and they were talking like there were other junior people with me
Mhm.
and they were talking about the job that they did before and someone asked me, she was like, what job did you do before? And I was like, oh, this is my first job. And prior to this, I don't know what it is yet, but every time I go, like, I'm a confident person. Like, I'm like, I don't really overthink things.
You know your
And
shit.
yesterday when I was in the office, like, I deeped that I'm actually like a bit insecure when it comes to the work environment. Because, like, I was getting asked questions, and I just I don't, because I feel like everyone around me knows so much information
Mm-hmm.
and like is so clever and like has like I just all day I was going through like this mental turmoil of like, oh my gosh, like these people know so much, and I'm like, what am I bringing to the table? Even though I know what I bring to the table, but like knowledge wise,
Yeah.
what else, like these men are having mad intellectual conversations, and I can chip in now and again, but I can't fully chip in like at this level, blah blah. And yes, so I'm thinking this all day, right? And I'm stressing about it. And I even thought it when I went in on Tuesday as well. Like I was going through this mental thing as well. And
Mm-hmm.
then yesterday, one of my colleagues who's the head of another team, she was like, what job did you do before? And I was like, oh, this is my first job. And one of the other heads, she was like, she's actually a director. And she was like, oh my gosh, like you're such a natural. I would have never known. And I was like,
Love that.
I need to relax my clerk, because everyone else that I'm working with, literally everyone else has had other jobs and has been in this industry for way longer. So
Mm-hmm.
why would I know more than them when I haven't had as much experience as them and I haven't had that exposure yet? Like I'm getting there, but I haven't fully had that. And it was just a reminder to myself that I need to stop like it's so mad, because in my personal life I'm so good at this, and like I would never compare myself to anyone, and I'm just like I'm so
Mm-hmm.
comfortable in my skin. But it just made me remember like I can't compare my career to other people's career and my intelligence to other people's intelligence, because what I bring is something different. And I
Yeah.
just needed to like relax my clout basically, but I was proper stressing about it beforehand.
Bitch, this is wild to me because, guys, if you listen to this pod religiously, you know Meggie is a confident babe. Like, she knows her worth. So, if this is how you're feeling, what hope is there for me? Like,
No,
what
it's so
hope is there for
insane.
me? But you are preaching to the choir. I tell myself this all the time. I actually think I'm getting way better at this in terms of like, there's no rush. And it's lovely when you actually see the progress you made. Like, I can't remember if I said to you last week, but when I was writing reports, and then I saw reports that other people wrote, and like report writing is definitely something that I criticize myself on a lot. And then I read my
Yeah.
report and I read other people's report, and I was like, bitch, your report is actually beautiful. It reads so nicely. Why are you putting yourself down? I just feel like
Yes.
everyone does it. It's so
It's
natural.
crazy, because I think also because like we want to like do really well in our careers and stuff. When as soon as do you know what I realized as well? I haven't felt like this in a while, and going into the office makes me feel like this, because when I'm like in having meetings and stuff, I'm prepared for the meeting, so I know what I'm saying, so I don't get that like,
Yeah.
oh, like I don't really know what's going on. And if I do, I'm like, it's I don't know, I just quickly shake it off. But in the office, because I'm like surrounded by people who are constantly having these conversations, it like it takes me outside of my bubble, which I also think is good, by the way, because otherwise like I wouldn't. Anyways, it takes
Yeah.
me outside of my bubble and makes me realize like, oh my gosh, there's like so much more than I think there is. And so I don't know, like I'm kind of changing my mind on the like I was just having a meltdown at lunchtime, and it was just like I think I need to go into the office more to like put myself in these situations where I can hear other conversations that are going on. So if I'm not aware of something, I will get aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
But also like just getting comfortable with not knowing stuff and being okay with that, and realizing that these men know a lot more than me because they've had 20 years
Yeah.
more than me.
Sis, keep saying it to yourself. I swear down, everyone feels it. It's mental, and yeah, you're not normally a person who would compare themselves to anyone else. So
So
this is
weird.
so wild that this was actually weighing heavy on you. And whilst I'm a strong advocate for like hybrid working, I do agree that going into the office for that reason is mad important. And I also do like yesterday night having everyone there supported me. I was like, I actually know so many people because I'm always in the office. I'm really loud, so everyone hears me. Like I'll say hi to everyone, and it's just like, yeah, I quite like being like known and being that positive, bubbly person that everyone's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's her. And you do pick up on conversations, even though it's nerve wracking and it makes me feel sick. I think it's the intellectual conversations that people are having, just work related, and they're having them just for fun. That's what does me.
Yes.
I'm like, which is slightly why I hate networking, because those are the conversations that make me rethink my whole entire life. But yeah, I hear it. You just need to put yourself in them and just say, this is the only way I'm going to learn. So I just need to get outside my comfort zone.
It's 100% like just need to shove myself in those situations so that it's one day not uncomfortable.
I bet you in a year, 2 years, maximum 5 years, we will look back and be like, rah, why was I worrying? Like I've grown so much. I can't wait. I already see it. Like I already look back on 6 months, a year ago me, and I'm like, I've grown so much, but I can't wait to see that long term, 5 years.
Do you know what I always like? And I actually started thinking like this because I like one of my friends. You froze who you met
Mm-hmm.
at the football match. Um, she's always like, "What would CEO Meggie think about this?" And like, I'm trying to like think now, like, how would CEO Meggie behave in this situation?
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be like this. And would I be doubting myself this much? Like, I hope not. They're like trying to like step into the character that I'm trying to unlock in myself a bit more. But obviously,
I
like, it's
love
a
that.
journey in it.
Yeah, one of my managers always used to say to me, he was like, for my career anyway, he was like, if you're a grad, you should always feel like you're a surveyor. If you're a surveyor, you should always feel like you're a senior surveyor. He's like, you should always
Mm,
internally feel like you're that one step higher that you're working to being. So
that's
I
such
I
good
fully agree
advice.
with that. Yeah, shout out to you,
Yeah.
Froze, and my old manager. Um, 110% agree. Yeah.
Yes.
This actually leads us quite nicely, not into our poll, but into this news story. So just about like, so this is kind of like imposter syndrome, mental well-being. Obviously, if you're worrying a lot at work about stuff like this, then it can impact your mental well-being. And guys,
Hmm.
this is fresh off the press. We actually have an up-to-date, relevant news story for you. So I found this morning. So it says, Rishi Sunak will today claim Britain is suffering from a sick note culture, as he warns there is a risk of over medicalising normal worries by diagnosing them as mental health conditions. In a
Oh,
speech on how to reduce people being signed off sick from work, the Prime Minister will say the government is planning to trial getting work and health professionals to issue fit notes, shifting away from GPs carrying out this role. Sunak will say he is concerned about the increase in long term sickness since the pandemic, largely driven by mental health conditions, with 2.8 million people now economically active and 20,000 people off work in the UK every month for mental health. That's
wow.
wild, isn't it? He said in relation to mental health, he will say he would never dismiss or downplay the illnesses people have, but also argue that there is a need to be more honest about the risk of over medicalizing the everyday challenges and worries of life.
So what's he saying though? What's he actually saying there?
This is a techie subject, yeah, but I slightly agree with him in that, like, I do this myself. Obviously, I've not gone to the doctors for it, but like some days when I'm a little bit worried, I'll be like, "Oh my god, I've got anxiety today." When it's not really anxiety, it's just a natural feeling. I'm a little bit worried. That is human nature.
Yeah.
Or like if I'm sad, I'll be like, "I'm so depressed," which I shouldn't, because I'm not depressed. Like that is so disrespectful to someone who is actually suffering with depression.
Yeah.
And I hear that people do this. Like I've heard of so many people, not in my firm, but like my sister's firms and stuff like that, signing off sick. And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like the more we talk about mental health, is it because people are more confident and comfortable to admit the struggles they're facing, and so now they're going off sick because they don't think they'll be penalised for it? Or is it that, yeah, people are exaggerating the the worries of life and the negative feelings they have for being ill health, for them having ill health? It's so
It's such
hard.
a thin line because like some people it's like thank God that now people are talking about it because
Yeah.
those that have been suffering can actually take medical leave and it's like
Mhm.
it's actually something that can be taken seriously in society. But I 100% agree and I think especially the younger generation as in like our generation does fall victim to like saying things that are not real like it's like you said it's a momentary I cannot speak.
No, I got you.
It's a momentary feeling, but then they'll label it as like, oh, like I've got anxiety or I've got depression or something, when it's actually like that particular situation has made you feel worried or has made you feel a bit sad, because you're a human being, people get sad. But I think it's a good point about removing the onus of on GPs and putting it to other specific professionals that will deal with that, because GPs are already overstretched, and more time, I don't even think they learn, like the education system teaches them that much about mental health to be able to deal with it. So I definitely think that's a positive. But I don't know, I can see how like is people are gonna be upset about it. But I don't know, it's yeah, our society talks a lot about mental health, and it's like it's very tricky to know when something is a mental illness and when you're just having a momentary moment
Lapse,
of
yeah.
sadness.
No, I completely agree. This is going to be so hard, and he needs to tread lightly. And
Yeah.
also, like fit notes, it makes me feel like they're going to force people back to work. Like you're fit, but if that person doesn't feel ready, they don't feel ready. Even my dad, like,
Yeah.
mate, my dad will never work again, like because of all his health ailments. Yeah, ailments. Um, and yet he has to get a sick note every 6 months to confirm that he can't
What?
work. Yeah, it's every 6 months or a year, and he has to keep going back and getting a sick note. And it's like, why? The man is very clearly not able to work. Like this is just ridiculous. Like the system doesn't work, and I'm worried it will do things like that to people. Like where there's people who physically cannot work, and it's like,
Hmm.
no, let's check, make you prove it every now and again. Like it's a lot. Sometimes just take people at their word. You can clearly see there's an issue here.
Do you think that so yesterday as well,
Mhm.
one of my colleagues, she was like, she was like, I have to tell you something. And I was like, oh, gossip. And she was like, I'm getting divorced. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I came at it so wrong. Because I thought she was like going to tell me something like, oh, since you've been away, you'll never guess what happened. But no,
Oh
she's,
shit.
yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like all of this, blah, blah. And I was thinking like, if you're heartbroken, can you take annual leave for that? Not annual leave because you're entitled to it, but can you take sick leave for being heartbroken? Because that's momentary. It's not a mental illness, but you are upset. Like it really does impact your work.
Do you know what? I don't think you can because it sounds, I'm just going to call it out. It sounds ridiculous, like taking annual leave because someone broke up with you or you're getting a divorce. But actually, that can stop you eating. That can stop you sleeping. Like, that can feel like your whole world. Not that I've been through a divorce, but like, do you know when you have a little situationship and it ends? That's as far as my experience extends. And you're just like so sad times 10.
Yeah, man.
That's what I imagine. Like, yeah, man.
No, when I was
Times
heartbroken, I
10.
wasn't eating. Like
Yeah.
it's sad. Like you're really sad.
Yeah, and it does impact your work without a doubt.
Yeah.
So I feel like that should be allowed. But then again, you've got to monitor it. Like, when do they come back? How long are they allowed to be heartbroken?
Exactly, and it's like someone's heartbreak might be of a marriage that's breaking down, like a
Mm.
decade-long marriage, and someone else's heartbreak might be like a situationship of someone they were speaking to for 6 months or something. It's
Yeah.
like, do you both deserve the same amount of time off? Like, I'm not sure.
No, I agree. Yeah. Very techy, but glad I don't work in healthcare. And yeah, best of luck to all of those that work in the NHS or any form of that healthcare business because it's a hard life. But guys, on that note, my health is not feeling 100% today. I'm actually off out to dinner as well. I am
Oh, lovely.
exhausted. So we're not going to do our poll today. This was more of a life update from me and Big Megs, telling you about our week. We had a big Thursday. We're
We did.
exhausted. We're going to go relax. We're going to leave you with this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to hear more about like our personal lives, how we're navigating our 20s, our growth, our setbacks, say was a bit of everything, then let us know because we'd be more than happy to do that. We love talking about ourselves.
We do.
And yeah, thank you for listening. Send your work or life related dramas, dilemmas, dumb bitches, the mistakes you're making into grownupspodcast@gmail.com or
DM us at Grown Ups the Podcast.
see you
Bye.
next week.